The rain was pouring so hard that night that the streetlights looked like blurred stars through the storm. Mark Carter stood at the doorway of his small, aging house, holding an old flashlight and staring at the trembling figure standing at the edge of his porch. She looked no older than 20. Her clothes were soaked, her hands were shaking, and her eyes held a quiet sadness that no storm could create. She looked like someone who had nowhere left to go. Mark was a single father who had already lost more in life than most people could imagine. Letting a stranger into his home was the last thing he should have done. But that night, something in his heart refused to close the door. What he didn't know was that the quiet girl standing in the rain was not just a lost college student. She was the daughter of one of the richest billionaires in the country. Before we go further, if you believe that kindness and second chances can truly change lives, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who believes in good people, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel, Kindness Stories. Your support helps these powerful stories reach more hearts. Mark Carter's life had never been easy. At 37 years old, he had already buried his wife and learned what it meant to raise a child alone. His small house sat at the edge of a quiet town, worn by time and struggle, but still filled with the warmth of love. His 7-year-old son, Ethan, was the center of his world. Every morning Mark woke before sunrise, cooked breakfast, packed Ethan's lunch, and then rushed to his construction job across town. The pay was barely enough, but he never complained. To Ethan, Mark was not just a father, he was a hero trying his best to keep their world from falling apart. That stormy evening had already been exhausting. Mark had returned from work soaked in sweat and dust, his muscles aching from carrying bricks all day. Ethan had fallen asleep early on the couch while watching cartoons. The rain started suddenly, crashing down on the roof like thousands of tiny drums. Mark stepped outside to secure the loose garbage bin before the wind carried it away. That was when he saw her. The girl stood quietly near the gate, as if she had been standing there for a long time but didn't have the courage to knock. Her dark hair clung to her face from the rain, and she held a small backpack close to her chest. She didn't look dangerous. She looked lost. For a moment, Mark hesitated. In a world where trust had become rare, inviting a stranger into your home was risky. But then she looked up, and her eyes carried a silent plea that words could not express. Mark walked closer and asked if she was all right. She nodded slightly but said she had nowhere to stay for the night. Her voice was soft and careful, like someone used to speaking very little. She explained that her dormitory had closed unexpectedly due to maintenance and she had missed the last bus back to campus. Every nearby motel was full because of the storm. Mark studied her for a moment. She seemed educated, polite, and gentle. There was something about her calmness that didn't match the chaos of the rain around her. Without overthinking it, Mark stepped aside and told her she could stay for the night. The girl thanked him quietly and stepped inside. Her name was Lily. The house was small, simple, and filled with signs of a struggling but loving home. Old furniture, mismatched plates, and walls decorated with Ethan's colorful drawings made it clear that life here was humble. Lily noticed everything silently, as if absorbing the warmth of the place. Mark gave her a dry towel and one of his old hoodies to wear while her clothes dried near the heater. Ethan woke up briefly and blinked sleepily at the stranger in the living room. Mark explained that Lily was a student who needed help for the night. Ethan